And after first play, it was like, yes, people get it and they like it and they like these moments. Okay, and now we can build on. So
which is not shown on the trailer. The game has a dialogue system, so sometimes you can choose who you will extract. So imagine you've been sent for me, but maybe Jacek is a cooler guy and you will go rogue and extract Jacek instead of me. So you can also do this in the game.
because, as game developer, for most of the time, you see your game in the worst shape possible. And when it's done, you just don't care. It's like, okay, just get out. Yeah, it's like maybe, I don't know, maybe it's like having a kid. I don't know, yeah.
Guys, lovely to meet you both. Thank you so much for taking the time. I kind of always like to start at the beginning where possible. What was like the initial kind of nugget of an idea for this game?
So back in the day, when we were finishing Medium, our previous project, our boss called us and said, "Okay, guys, we need an idea for another game." It was like a meeting of different leads from different departments, designers,
Marketing,
script writers, cutscene artists. Everyone were there, and we were divided into two groups. And those two groups came with two ideas.
Yeah, so one idea was about maybe housing project, like something that we know from Poland, or from this part of Europe, and that it's affected by strange disease that demorph people in a way. And second project,
yeah, maybe it's also like a fun thing because now we are working as co-directing the game together, but at this point we were in the different teams. Yeah, so Jacek's team came up with the idea of the change, the disease that destroys humanity, and my team was more about the time travel, like the guy who tries to save the world and time travels to do it. Yeah, so we basically at the end we say, okay, this is cool, and we merge these two ideas into one game.
To create final pitch. Like nobody was like, it wasn't the idea to do it. We just present the two ideas and like we see each other like, okay, let's merge them. They will know that they will fill the blanks that each of it have it, and let's create a final pitch that we can go with publisher or even internally. Was the final idea, and this is how Chronos started.
Yeah, so we basically took the best parts and glue it together.
Yeah. I love that. And what has it been like working as co-directors? Do you kind of both focus on different things, or do you kind of always work together the whole time?
I think mostly together most of the time. It depends, like I start as a producer, Wojciech as a designer in the medium, but also there we, share a lot of stuff and help each other all the time. I really recommend that kind of stuff for everybody, to have that kind of partner. And so it was, organically transferred to Chronos. But yeah, sometimes, we work independently, but I think most of the time we ask each other. It's like sanity check. Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, do you think it's a good idea? Because maybe we can do this in that department. So I think we double check ourselves all the time.
Yeah, and in a lot of cases we are working as a hive mind, I think. Yeah, yes. Like Jacek went on some meeting and said, okay, designers wanted this, and I'm replying, and you said this. And yes. Great.
So we really know each other, how we operate in work.
Amazing. It's like you guys have merged together as two creatures do.
In a way, yeah. Sometimes people even in company, say to me, Wojciech, to Wojciech said Jacek, and like, okay. Yeah, okay, let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, sometimes we've got different opinions,
and that's good.
Yeah, and that's good. Yeah, because sometimes we are also challenging each other.
Yes.
And in my opinion, taking better decision because of this.
Yeah, I think our duet give us this strength that we can be a little more sure that the decision is more bulletproof than just I have a dream and I want to do this or that. Yeah, no, there is somebody on your level that can challenge you instantly. And you trust this person 100%. So that's just easier. What came up from us to the team, that okay, it's double check. It's something that we really want to do, and we know how to go with this vision.
Was there anything in particular you guys took from from the medium or from Silent Hill or any of the games you've worked on before? Were there any kind of learnings that you took forward and thought like we really want to do this differently on this next game, or we want to build on what we've learned from this previous game?
I think in case of medium, we just learned how to work on two worlds game. Yeah, how even in case of documentation, engine, naming, a lot of stuff. So now having the game being in two different times, future and the past, it was just easy, very, very easy for us. Okay, how to divide this for everybody to understand at the same level. It's in another time zone, etc., etc. And from Silent Hill, I think we take a little bit of know-how in case of when we start prototyping, because they were ahead of us with everything. Yeah, so okay, they start with first-person camera, with combat, with range combat, so we can just check how they did it during our prototype process. So I think this speed up things, but further and further into the production, we just go different way than anything we did before.
Yeah, but I think the learning curve was like, starting from the beginning. Yeah, like I started working in Bloober on the Observer. So, again, sci-fi horror game, but more, let's say, adventure game. Yeah, like a first-person camera, but we learned a lot. Yeah. And then with Medium, we got like a third-person camera, but fixed cameras. Yeah. But again, it's like a new knowledge how to prepare cutscenes, for example, that were completely different than cutscenes seeing, from the first-person perspective. So a lot of things were transferred from project to project, and I think we just, we are growing with the company, which is really, really exciting. Our games are, bigger, better, and I think more advanced with each project. So that's really cool feeling to grow with the company.
Yeah, I think even there is also some knowledge even from Layers of Fear or Blair Witch. Yeah, so I think, but maybe I don't think that way. For me, just like breeding. Yeah, like, okay, let's do something. Like in Layers of Fear or. But yeah, I think from that phase we took everything to Chronos and beyond. And go beyond that.
To infinity and beyond, almost.
Yeah.
Obviously, the kind of crossover between sci-fi and horror is often like super compelling. Do you have any kind of specific inspirations, films or previous games, or anything that you were like, we really love how they did it, but we want to build on it in this way, or anything like that?
Yeah, a lot of that.
Yeah. Maybe to start a little bit differently. So we knew that second team, because we have two core teams in Bloober Team, is doing Silent Hill 2 at the time. So we wanted to go, let's say, in a different way. Of course, we wanted to create survival horror. That was our dream from the beginning, but we wanted to drift it somewhere, like to not overlap with the Silent Hill project, to not make another, let's say, grounded survival horror. So we went more into the, let's say, action-oriented direction. We are more, let's say, Resident Evil-ish, I would say. So yeah. And then, of course, let's do sci-fi. That will be completely different. Yeah, completely different horror. But you ask about the inspiration, so?
I think the main one is Resident Evil series, mostly the remakes. It's like, great backbone to check, how stuff are working, but also the classic games. Of course, somewhere there is a Dead Space, suited protagonists, sci-fi, body horror, etc. And we, at the beginning, that was, we start somewhere there, and the very important point of reference for us was Dark, Netflix TV series about time travel. Like, it was mind blow for us here. And when we finished the medium, even in the medium, we try maybe to, we talk a lot about this series. Yeah. So when we finished that, we thought, okay, that's what we want to try to do, but differently, of course, for gaming space. So this is where we start, but also, The Thing, of course.
Carpenter's movie, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
12 Monkeys.
12 Monkeys.
Yeah, Colvin being sent in time, yeah.
Yeah, from less maybe known stuff or less obvious, it's Blame, or Blame, I don't know how to say it.
I think it's Blame.
It's Blame manga, that also, how our maybe weapons works and overall vibe. There's also a little bit of Nier Automata, or even Bloodborne, like city with the disease going crazy, and you go through it with your mission, etc., etc. Yeah.
Annihilation, also Netflix movie, the anomaly that appeared somewhere. Yeah. So yeah, I think that was
it was at the beginning. Yeah.
Amazing. I've got like a watch list now of things to watch in preparation. I was wondering, because obviously we had the gameplay reveal trailer yesterday, which seems to have gone down really well. How does it kind of feel to be at this point where kind of you know what the game is, but you now have to like communicate it to the outside world? Is that an interesting point in the process?
I just talked about it before the interview. For me, it's surreal that I can wake up and I see trailer reaction, and people trying to have ideas what's happening in the trailer and what they know from press release, and I'm like, okay, in most of the stuff you are maybe somewhere closer or something. So like the intentions that we want to have creating the game and these materials are working. So it's also a relief that okay, we are doing something a bit strange, like sci-fi in 80s Poland with time diver, and it's working. So that's a bit surreal. Okay, like we are in this moment because as game developer, for most of the time you see your game in the worst shape possible. And when it's done, you just don't care. It's like, okay, just get out. Yeah, it's like maybe, I don't know, maybe it's like having a kid. I don't know, yeah. Get out, like be with somebody else. Yeah? It's somebody else's problem now, yeah. So, and it's also tough, but it's nice when somebody sees it for the first time and it's nice for them, yeah.
Yeah, we are also super happy that people are, let's say, understanding the merge mechanics, yeah, because that was something that distinguishes our game from other survival horrors, and we are super happy that people are just writing nice things about it, yeah. And they like get what's going on there and
have interesting ideas how it can work, and we're like, yeah, okay.
That's like the exact time code, but it's about half or 2/3 of the way through the trailer it goes, don't let them merge, and it's like, wait, what? It's like bit of a mind-blowing moment. I mean, how difficult is it from like a tech standpoint to make something like that? It's not something you see very often in games.
It's a new thing. So I think after the medium, when we create the game having two worlds and gameplay at the same time, when there was no reference for something like it, so I think we did something similar here. I think maybe it's a bit easier, but it was a lot back and forth also in case of balance. Where is this golden moment when the system is okay, working awesome, doing awesome stuff, and when go to okay, it's just frustrating, not fair. I think was the hardest part to find. Where is this golden point?
Yeah, exactly. But basically, we built all the combat systems on all the game around this system. So, for example, maybe you notice at some point the player charges a weapon. So in our game, you can shoot them, let's say, normally by tap the button or hold it to charge it. And for example, this gives you like a crowd control abilities. So if you charge like a normal gun, it pierces through enemies. So you can, drop few of them at the same time if you, align them correctly. I don't know, use a flamethrower, for example, to stun them, then find a good position, do it, and no one will merge because all of them will die at the same time. So yeah, this like adds this like a strategic ingredient into combat, and yeah, we are really happy about it.
It changed like the whole gameplay. It's not like okay, monsters are merging, I need to maybe look out who and when I will kill. No, we have also a lot of tools that you need to know when and how what you want to use to don't let them merge.
But the kind of the bit I've hyperfixated on is whether the merging kind of can happen at any point in any kind of mission, or is that like at certain points it's almost like a boss thing that they kind of start merging?
No, it's like constant. It can happen whenever you will not react. So yeah, even at the beginning, mostly if you really go wrong, you can create a small boss fight if you are not watch. And also we have a lot of talks internally in the office about it. Yeah, do we want to gatekeeping the feature and don't let them merge that far or something? And we no. Like that's the rule in this world. If you do it, the worst case scenario, you will load the game. Best case scenario, you will have great emergent gameplay and you will survive and you will remember this till the end of times.
Yeah, we also noticed during the playtest that people are often more afraid of the merge than being killed, and that's great.
Yeah.
Because when they see that something, the monster throws out these tentacles and goes to, absorb the other, they're like, no, they run there, try to, flame the guy or stop it. And this is great, yeah, because this creates like a, let's say, more tension in combat.
Yeah, and in a way, a new experience in survival horror. Yeah, like we are, hardcore horror, survival horror fans, But with this game, even when we play it, it's like, oh no, I need to throw everything what I'm doing and all my tactics because they start merging and I didn't, saw that. And that's a, great moment to have.
Yeah, so every body you leave behind may backfire at you because it's a survival horror, so you often backtrack with new items and stuff, and yeah, this may happen. Of course, you can burn the bodies to to get rid of them, but this costs resources and they are scarce.
Decisions.
You mentioned the playtesting there. I don't think I've really thought of it in that way of like. So I think of playtesting, I think of like, oh, they're just checking if the game works and looking for bugs and stuff. But when you guys are doing a playtest, you're specifically trying to see like which bits are freaking people out the most and then amp that up kind of thing.
It's more like playtesting if the idea even works. Like, even for the medium, when we create this two-world game and everything, we also weren't sure if this will even be playable for somebody outside the office. And after first play, it was like, yes, people get it and they like it and they like these moments. Okay, and now we can build on. So similar with Chronos, yeah.
Yeah, I think during the playtest, each department is interested in their own, let's say, field. Yeah, like the level design checks if the player find a way, if if the items are placed correctly and so on. So yeah, writers are checking the story. So yeah, but the playtests are super important.
One you mentioned earlier, Blair Witch as one of the games that you guys have worked on before. Are there any kind of other horror films or shows or anything that you'd particularly like to try and adapt into games, or are you quite happy working on original IP now?
That's a tough question. I think what we love to do to create more Chronos, but we need to see how this one landed. I don't know. I think more original one. I think maybe Wojciech, you have a dream or something.
Yeah, overall I would love to make something with vampires.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there is a big void in case of good vampire game.
But overall, to be honest, we feel very privileged to be able to work on Chronos, especially that the industry, let's say, is not in the best shape right now. So we are super happy to that they give us a chance with this shot with the new IP. So yeah, I think it's huge in this time. So really, really privileged and excited about the game.
And also, we can even like a lot of cool movies and series, but did they translate well to gameplay? Maybe sometimes it's just good. Leave something where it is. Yeah. So I know the great horror series that also we watched during Chronos, Midnight Mass.
Mm-hmm.
That was great, but I don't see this as a cool game. Or maybe let's not just do it, yeah. Just keep it where it is, yeah. Or like Dead Space movie, maybe it will be great, but if it will be better than Alien 1, I don't know.
Thinking about Chronos, I wanted to rewind a bit and ask you about the time travel side of it and explain that to me in as much detail as you're willing to. So it's there's two time periods and you can jump between the two at any point, did you say?
So you start in the desolated future, that everything is destroyed and the world ends maybe somewhere in the 80s, and you can jump to the 80s, but only a couple of days before everything goes to hell.
Yeah, exactly. So your goal is to extract people, or should I say their essence, of those who didn't survive the apocalypse. So the core loop of the game is you are getting mission from the, let's say, the what we are calling the traveler's terminal. It's in the center of the city, and then you go into each district with different missions to extract someone. So you of course need to survive, fight the monsters along the way, solve puzzles, and then look for the time rifts. And then of course jump back in time and look for these people appointed by your mission. But
by the collective.
But of course, it's not an easy task. And as Jacek said, you are always landing a few days before the apocalypse, or should I say,
closer and closer
to the day zero. Yeah. Exactly. So you will experience how the world decayed during these jumps. And also, which is not shown on the trailer, the game has a dialogue system, so sometimes you can choose who you will extract. So imagine you've been sent for me, but maybe Jacek is a cooler guy and you will go rogue and extract Jacek instead of me. So you can also do this in the game.
So yeah, so it's more like you cannot jump whenever you want. It's not like, Titan 2 famous one level. That was of course great. It's more like important story moment, important pacing moment. Okay, you find a time brief, you jump to the past, and now let's see what happened, how it looks like, and what you can do there.